Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Red, Right, and True, where we tell you all the truth all the time. If you want the truth, you come here and you listen to us tell it to you live at the greatest venue in the land, the America First Warehouse. With me is my co-host, Joe Curry.
Yes, good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Patriot Box.
Hello, everyone.
And Mark White.
Good evening, everybody from Texas.
And we always have to say that Mark White, formerly of the Spin Doctors, because we love to talk about how he ended up not being on the Spin Doctors. We always will go into it periodically. But we want to start off with Asset One, because that's going to lead us into a discussion. So if we could have Asset One, that would be great. Coming up on the screen. Asset One. You guys ready? Okay, we got it. Perfect.
How are these people still running this country? Our leaders are pedophiles. They enjoy raping children. Children! What are we doing?
As Bugs Bunny would say, you're a mental case.
Oh my God. I mean, I have to say, when I watch these kind of videos, it does make me feel better about myself.
That woman would actually, it's almost like she's doing a prescription drug medication commercial.
Oh, my
This
God.
is what happens if you don't take happiness pills.
Yeah. Side effects might be used against the administration. Yelling crazy things, not making sense, looking like a mental patient. Maybe a net should be dropped on you and taken off to the learning bin.
But once again, we have to ask ourselves, where does she get her information from that she thinks people are child abusers? Where does that come from?
Where they get that from is basically through the internet and nonsense.
And TikTok.
They come up with this, and I've called people out on this, like, oh, Trump is a child molester. Show me the evidence. Show me the conviction. Show me what you're talking about. And then they either give me the smiley face that I'm the lunatic, and they don't say anything because they don't. She is so in constant rhetoric, and basically she is so in constant in emotion that she just yells this stuff out. And then she
like
doubles down. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, Mark, could you tell us as far as, tell us like what your feelings are about these women? And they always seem to be white women. I don't know what's. I feel so like good about myself that I'm not crazy, at least like that. I have other issues.
I like that. And that's another show. We'll talk about that. But
right. So
maybe
Mark,
the hour, 2 hour special. But
yes. So Mark, what's your theory on why she acts like that? Like, it's one thing to say it to a camera, like I'm talking right now in a normal way. She's having like almost like
Breakdown.
A psychotic breakdown on camera.
Well, they do hate Trump. That's the first thing. But the other thing is, like what he said before, they're reading stuff and they're choosing to believe it. Because we all read stuff and then we go and we research or whatever. Everything that you know and everything that you understand is because somebody else has explained it to you. Or very few of us have a magnifying glass and we're actually going out there and doing our actual research. We're just looking at our screens and we read something and then we either get triggered or we say to ourselves, well, that doesn't make sense. So, but these people, they're so low thinking that as soon as they see something that they agree with, they're just going to go with it. We all know Trump's not a pedophile. How did they even come up with that? But if you notice, every single cycle, he's a pedophile. He's
Nazi. He's a
Nazi,
fascist.
right? He's all these different things, and this is the new thing now. He's a pedophile. And people like her are going to believe it. But remember, the media is only reaching the already crazy people. They're not convincing the rest of us to suddenly just be like, "Oh my God, I'm going to vote for Harris next time."
Yeah, and and the thing about it is when the whole thing with Epstein, oh, he's hiding. The war is about Epstein. This is about no, it's not, because here's the thing: this Epstein thing has been going on going into the third presidency. Okay, the first presidency, if they wanted to get Trump with Epstein evidence, they would have gotten him. The Biden administration comes in; they woke up every day trying to find stuff to nail him with. They wouldn't have done it then. They would have done it then. And now that Trump is into his second presidency, in over a year, there's still the Epstein file. They would have nailed him if they had credible information over 8 years ago.
Joe, one of the things you're leaving out, okay, and this is really important, prior to Epstein's conviction, and he was convicted, Donald Trump reported him to the FBI and said, this guy's bad news.
Right, over and
Yeah.
over again.
Yeah.
Over and over
and-
again. So
and-
it's just like, once again, they ignore the facts and just make up their own BS, and then they just say it over and over, and then these lunatics like this woman in the video believe it. It's very, it's insane to watch. It's
You
entertaining.
should put that on repeat like I did. I had it on repeat. Or I'll just let it play over and over again for like 10 minutes. It's unbelievable.
And use that as an alarm. That'll get you out of bed now.
Yes, exactly.
That'll get that. But a lot of the rhetoric is with the No Kings rally. Now I have to call out my old show that I was on for 12 years. I peeked in the beginning of the show last night, and my former host, the host that I was with, was calling me out on a couple of things. I could not respond because I'm looking at my phone, but I want to address it now that I have my forum going. And one of the things that he critiqued, he does not like memes. And the whole thing with memes is that
Too
memes-
bad for him.
Well, the thing about memes, it's a political cartoon or a cartoon
I
or
love memes.
satirization that has been going on since the origins of our country, since the origins of European countries. Now, the thing he doesn't like about memes and he doesn't understand is he thinks I look at it and go, I like this, and I'll put it out. If I put a meme out, I've done the research and I can back it up. Now, what
Can I just say something?
Sure.
Because I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's your Facebook page, and you could put whatever you want on it. And you know what? If he doesn't like it, he can scroll by. Who cares what he thinks?
Well,
I don't.
he
I don't
commented
I
care
can tell
what
you why
he
they don't like
thinks.
memes.
Yeah.
I know exactly why they don't like memes.
Why is that?
Because it's a simple little thing that tells the truth and you can't refute it. That's exactly what these memes are doing. They're
Right.
just they're taking a huge, because remember, when you're talking to liberals, if they see a meme, then they're going to respond with this giant paragraph of everything. But a meme is just 2 or 3 words. Everybody can understand it. It's the truth, and they can't refute it. That's why they hate them.
Well, and I'm not going to get into that, but and I'm not going to get into that, but and he knows that too. But I do miss that back and forth that we had to, and I'm yelling at the phone as he's going, through with my counter, and it's it was very frustrating because I was almost like the lady that we just saw in Asset One that I'm yelling, but I wanted to dispute some of the facts of the No Kings rally really quickly when the yell no Kings. Okay, so they say, well, it's an anti-authoritarian message that he's sending, and Donald Trump is not a king because the United States is a constitutional republic, not a monarchy. We have a government structure that's designed to prevent absolute rule through separations of power.
Intelligent Americans to overcome the craziness like Americans to overcome the craziness like we saw earlier, to overcome the cheating that we know goes on with voting, and this just really what happens with the left that I see is they're like the communists. They come up with a slogan and then they chant the slogan. So they got on this bandwagon for No Kings. He's not a king, people. He was elected
And-
3 times by my count.
And also in Iran, they slaughtered the people who protested the government. That's what a king would do. They would not let you say mean things about them if he really was the king. And it's totally ridiculous. So, and then the clips of it with people dressed as frogs, and it looked like I was watching a lunatic asylum.
It was
Now-
like
now
the mental patients.
We do have Stevie GB waiting on the line, and when we return, Stevie GB is going to be joining us. We're very excited about that. He has some really cool things that he's going to introduce to us, Stevie GB. And we will see you back right here at the America First Warehouse in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there.
Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just 2 entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent, but the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW. Making travel great again.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
I'm sure you guys remember the platinum single, Justice for All, with Donald Trump and the J6 Prison Choir. Well, get ready for round 2. We're coming out with Anthem of the Free with High Res and the J6 Prison Choir. It's coming out now. It's pre-sale until December 19th when it drops. Get yours on all platforms, Google Play, Apple iTunes. Get it. It's going to be hot.
Justice for all, our voices ring. The anthem of the free.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see. A symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
Good evening and welcome to Red, Right, and True. We have a very special guest today. We have Stevie GB. He's a comic. Also, he's a very good patriot. Steve, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, it's great to be here, guys.
Great. And
Great to be here.
during the course of the day, he sent something over to us, and it's called Ask the Liberal. So I'm like, well, it seems interesting. Let me take a look. And it's phenomenal questions that you could ask a liberal and see if they have an answer. Because we just had the segment before where we had that young lady on there that was reacting emotionally and not logically to a lot of things. But this is legitimate questions that you should ask a liberal, and to question if it's going to be emotional or if it's going to be a factual. Steve, please enlighten us.
Not only do I have the questions, but I have some of the answers that I get from these stupid questions.
Yeah.
And they're not stupid questions, they're smart questions. This is my favorite one. Should we deport illegals before they commit a violent crime or after? You know what answers I get? Here's the answer I get.
After.
Most common answer. No. They
Not
don't
at
even say
all,
that.
not at
They
all.
say, American citizens kill more people than illegals. That's their answer. So
Well, there's a lot
my
more
obvious-
American citizens, I hope, than illegal.
I say, of course they do. If you look at averages, there's 350 million people, 25 million illegals. By average, of course, more American citizens kill. But does that make it right? Does that make it okay?
Yeah.
So then they can't answer. Then they go into another direction.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, ask all the people that, that have been killed, that it's like,
Yeah.
well, they're, what America, all right, American citizens, a crime is a horrible thing, and murder is a horrible thing. But if you could deter it by not bringing in an element, what's the problem?
Exactly.
Exactly.
The
Well, they always
illegal.
say we should wait. We should only send out the worst of the worst. So we got to wait till they kill somebody before we send them out.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, and it's
No.
again, if they're illegal, so they shouldn't be here. So it is a preventable crime. Whereas if
They
you
already
are
broke
an
the
American
law.
citizen, you're here. There's not really much you could do about it. But there is
Right.
the illegal criminal is preventable because you could deport him, and that
Exactly.
So
Here's my next question. I think
Yes.
you'll like this one too. This is about voter ID. How come you're not worried that Republicans will cheat with no voter ID?
We're the ones that want
That's a good
it.
one.
They're always like, well, we don't want voter ID. Well, because you're going to cheat, but they don't want voter ID. They're not worried that the Republicans might cheat with no voter ID. So they're basically giving themselves away.
And the interesting thing is, you need ID to do everything.
Of course.
And all of a sudden, when it is choosing a leader of the United States, no, we don't need to see anything.
We don't need that. We don't
It's
need
just
that.
so hypocritical.
Yeah.
Not hypocritical, but it's just so blatant is the word, that they are trying to get away with these elections by bringing in illegals to vote and build it. That's why the whole reason the illegals are here. They don't care about them. I've said this many times before. They're trying to build up a voter base. And to do
Right.
that, they're going to give them free phones, free lodging, give them a pass. And with no ID, they can vote. And they're
Right.
getting so upset because we're derailing the master plan.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Here's my third one. When gas, and this is probably pretty common. When gas was $5 a gallon under Biden, you said the president has nothing to do with gas prices. Now that it's $4 a gallon, Trump has everything to do with gas prices.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And when the gas prices under Biden, it was the direct result of the Green New Deal initiatives, okay?
Right.
And basically what it was is oil companies, because they were phasing out oil, you were giving oil companies no incentive to invest on oil. And everything is speculative. And with
And he
Trump
shut
in
down
there-
the pipeline.
Yeah, and
They-
now
they lowered the supply. They killed the supply, higher the demand.
Yeah.
Supply and demand, simple economics. The price goes up.
Yeah, and the price goes up, and people are, well, it's high now because we're trying to get the whole Iran situation resolved. President will be on 9 p.m. tonight explaining what's going on. As soon as that gets resolved, and it will get resolved, everything is going to go down. And that's another, the price of diesel fuel, and we get it. We understand that. We have to make a sacrifice in the long run to get rid of a terrorist entity in the Middle East to get that straightened out. And and he's the first president that acknowledged that. If I could just add to this, my former host of my show said, well, we just rushed into this war. And no, we didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Oh, God.
47 years.
Netanyahu clearly stated to the president that we had all these leaders in one place. And for previous administrations, there has been called by the Pentagon where there has been leaders or enemy all converging in one place, and we couldn't do it. Why? Because we're not like that. You want to know something? We let them proliferate. We finally had a president that said, you know what? They're there. Let's get them.
Can I also add to that?
Yes.
For those who are saying that Trump is Netanyahu's bitch and he is being
Yeah.
led around by Israel, there is clips of Trump in the 80s talking about how if he ever to become the president, that he would get rid of Iran, that he can't believe that the administrations are letting this stuff go on. So he has had it in his head to do this for decades. And finally, he, like you said, he's one of the only presidents that has the balls to do it. And,
Right.
that's my opinion of it.
And it wasn't
proof
only
of it.
him. I remember John McCain, bomb Iran. That was his, we got a box with us. Okay.
Yeah, that's a Patriot box.
That's Patriot Box.
Hi, Steve.
Oh, I like that. That's funny. Should I go to the next one?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, this one I love this one because we've been talking about climate change for what, maybe 40 years? It used to be global warming, then they changed it to climate change. So for 40 years, we've been doing all this stuff to improve the climate. Why is it still a catastrophe? Why is it getting worse? Why is nothing we did has worked in 40 years?
Because it was a slush fund, and it was a way to tunnel millions of dollars into the pockets of people who
What's the answer
made
you
it up.
get?
Well, I'd like to
Trump
weigh in.
always said it was made up.
I would like to weigh in on this.
Yes, Patriot Box.
When I was young, we were worried about the ice age that we were 10,000 years overdue for. So that's what I grew up with. So
Right.
and then in one day, the weather changed, and now we had global warming. Like I said, it was the whole premise behind it was a way of controlling energy, controlling people, controlling just the whole system to try to game it in such a way that is not to the average American's advantage.
Exactly.
I also have to just bring up something that, everybody loses friends and family if you take a stand on certain things. And I put up a meme about Greta Thunberg back in the day because she was, again, that was her first thing was climate change.
Yeah.
And it was like making fun of her in a way, but, she
How
she
dare
put
you.
herself in the spotlight. And my cousin says to me, "Oh, Bonnie, like I just created the biggest sin by making fun of Greta Thunberg." Meanwhile, she's shown herself everything she does is it's just one of every worst cause you could think of that's BS. And as she progresses, the more and more outrageous and insane you see clearly that she is.
Right, she's crazy. I'd like to make a comment on Greta, but what I'd like to do first is do Asset 2, get to Asset 2, which is called Black Women Lead the World. Asset 2, please.
Trust black women, they lead the way. Trust black women, they lead the way. White women, stop abandoning your sisters. Trust black women, they lead the way. Oh, we're mad as hell. Oh, can't you tell?
Second verse and a
Oh, we're
callback,
mad as
too.
hell. Can't you tell?
They would chop this tune.
We defend you fucking bastards. Oh, we're mad as hell. Can't you tell?
At least they rhymed. At least they rhymed.
I like the
it.
guy laughing at the end.
Because they're crazy.
You know, I'm a little disappointed in myself. What that group really needed was my kazoo playing to back them up.
Yeah.
No, bongos. The bongos.
Oh God, they're insane. But one thing I wanted to say about Greta Thunberg, basically when she made that speech, okay, it was a brilliant thing on the side of the left, because what they did was you could have had a scientist in that could have refuted everything that they were saying, but what they did is let's get a 16-year-old girl who is who has
on the
Asperger's,
autism spectrum,
who's on the
yes.
spectrum. Let's have her go in there. Her parents coached her, who were activists and actors. Let's coach her. Let's have her go in and say what she has to say. And if anybody criticizes her, they're awful, they're horrible. And
Exactly.
on my old show, I got in a humongous argument. That's not true. Of course it's true. Because basically, if you could question a scientist till the cows come home and why they're wrong, but you do that to an autistic 16-year-old girl, you're garbage. It was a brilliant move on their end for this cause.
Absolutely. I'm the mom of two autistic children. I have 3 children. 2 of them are autistic. I have an autistic brother. And they are easily, especially my brother who's high functioning, exactly like Greta. This is a funny story. He comes home, he stays with me a bunch of times during the week, and he starts, my daughter was home at the time, and he yells out, "Scumbag, scumbag, scumbag." So my daughter goes over to him, and she's like, "Danny," because he doesn't usually do that, "who are you talking about?" And he goes, "Trump. Trump is a scumbag." And I found out that at his house, the person that helps him, she has on CNN 24/7.
Wow.
And my brother had been brainwashed to this day to hate Trump. I'm deprogramming him. I said, CNN is not allowed on in this house.
No, Channel 26, Fox News
That's it. You cannot watch that. I don't want you to watch. And then even now, he's still wearing the mask. I said to my brother, "You look like a fool wearing that mask. COVID is long over. He's wearing the mask, walking outside in the store. Again, it's brainwashing, the way they brainwashed everybody to follow all these ridiculous COVID rules, the way they brainwashed Greta to think that the world was ending. It's all BS. And it's, again, it's propaganda. So stay tuned. We're going to continue with Stevie GB's list.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we're only halfway through. And stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Have you noticed your money just doesn't stretch like it used to? Your paycheck feels lighter, and your savings aren't growing. The culprits? Inflation and increased money supply. They've both been quietly eating away at your purchasing power for years. Today, the dollar's value has dropped significantly. You feel it every time you spend money on goods and services. Back in 1965, $1 or an ounce of silver could buy you a gallon of milk. Fast forward to today. That same dollar barely buys a couple of coffee creamers, while an ounce of silver would get you 8 gallons of milk. Gold and silver have held their value for centuries. If you had 2,500 ounces of silver back in 1965, you could buy a brand new Ford Mustang. Today, 2,500 ounces of silver would buy you 2 Mustangs. Similarly, in the year 2000, 628 ounces of gold would buy a new $170,000 home. Today, 628 ounces would buy you a $2,500,000 home. The problem? 95% of Americans don't own physical gold or silver. They think it's too complicated and too expensive, but it doesn't have to be. We offer a membership program that allows you to buy gold or silver with as little as $1. You can buy fractional amounts, safely vault them, or have them delivered to your doorstep. And you can liquidate them whenever you want at the highest buyback price in the industry. Ready to protect your wealth and keep your purchasing power? Scan the QR code or go to tafw.soundmoney.com to learn more.
If the vote count is accurate, then how come the number of voters is different? And if it's not accurate, then why was it certified? We are suing Letitia James and the New York State Board of Elections for a conspiracy against fundamental rights. This is not about who won. It's not about what party. It's about the fact that they don't care about your rights.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse.
It's me, Joe the Box, and I'm John the Blanket with the America First podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. The Fred Rubino podcast coming to you from the America First Warehouse.
Welcome, everybody, to the James Justice Show, tearing these airwaves apart with all the craziness that goes on in the world.
Welcome to the Patriots podcast. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the On the Right Side podcast here at the America First Warehouse in Long Island, New York.
Shane Jenkins here with another episode of Liberty's Cage.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Red, Right, and True.
We are streaming live on America First Media and Television app.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Red, Right, and True with Joe Curry, Patriot Box, and Mark White, and our special guest, Stevie GB. And he was continuing on his list of things to ask a Democrat, liberal. Go ahead, Stevie.
Exactly. Now, this is really, I love this one because they keep talking about the midterms coming up and they're going to take everything back. The Democrats are going to take everything back. So here's what I would ask, and put it in realistic terms. If your ex-husband or ex-wife beat the hell out of you for 4 years, would you take them back 2 years later? And the second part of that is if reversing all of Trump's policies brings us back to Biden's policies, do you think we'll be better off? Because that's what they're going to do.
And what's their answers?
They don't have an answer. You know, these are questions you can ask them, and there's no logical answer. They pivot, they divert. They talk about him playing golf. They call him a grifter. He's a liar. It's all about the Trump derangement syndrome takes place.
Yeah, they have to go. They don't want to discuss it. Yeah, and it shows that they have absolutely no coherent thought, nothing to really back it up. And you know what? I would welcome if they would have something to back it up. Because
problem,
it would be a
Joe-
fascinating discussion.
Joe, the problem
Exactly.
is they have nothing.
Exactly.
You know what the problem is?
They basically, I'm sorry, they basically hear a talking point, doesn't matter whether it's true or not, and it comes down to, and we've talked about this before, about why they don't care about logic or reason, it's all emotional. It's really quite simple. The left hates Donald Trump more than they love this country. They don't
Yeah.
realize what they have in either, but you could just, if you don't like Donald Trump, that's one thing. But they are anti-American, they are anti-USA because they hate Donald Trump. They don't want us to succeed. And it's just mind-boggling to me. But then again, this is coming from people who, we saw what Chuck Schumer said back in the day about voter ID. We saw what he said about illegal immigrants. The same thing with Biden and all the rest. And now the talking point has changed, just like global warming. It used to be an ice age we were coming to, and now...
So Mark White, were you going to say
Mark White.
something? Because I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I saw a video on your Facebook page where they were asking this woman, liberal, questions, and she was trying to answer them. She couldn't, and she seemed normal. And then all of a sudden at the end, she basically assaulted the person asking the question. She hit him, and she started beating on him. That's when the film ended. But what, were you going to say something about, right before Patriot Box was talking, you were going to say something, and you were interrupted, or no?
You made a
Who, me?
comment on the...
You talking to me?
Yeah,
Yes.
Mark, she was alluding to, you made a comment during the break on what would you like President Trump to do? And if you could elaborate on that.
Just basically, you've got people who they don't stand for anything, because remember, the Democrats don't have any policies, but Trump does. So I always ask liberals, if you hate Trump so much, what would make you happy? What would make you, if he could do something that would make you happy, what could it be? And you never get an answer. What you get is, I hope he dies, or I hope he gets hit by a truck, whatever. But they can't say anything, because all of the leftist policies are all horrible things. We see them. You can list them. Open the borders, high taxes, defund the police, soft on crime. It's just, those are the policies that they're doing, and you can't defend that. And one more point I have to make out. The problem with these people on the left is that they don't understand consequences. Not that they don't understand it, they can't even comprehend the concept of consequences. So every time they do something, it always leads to disaster, and then they look baffled. You ever look at a liberal who finally has to face the consequences? They always have this look of dismay on their face, like, how could this possibly happen? Like, what went wrong? They just don't understand it. And so that is the reason why we are where we are today.
Yeah, exactly. And the perfect example is those two people, unfortunately, that got killed in Minneapolis. They were interfering. And they've been so used to being coddled for the past 4 years. And like Antifa gets a free pass, which I never understood. But they're trying to see that there are consequences for their actions, and they need to see that. Also, Mark, we're going to bring up Asset 3. This woman lives off the grid, and she's not happy living in the woods because Trump is apparently getting into the woods. If we could have Asset 3, please.
Oh, this is a good one.
Twice. I moved to the woods with my husband. We built a cabin and we're living off grid as an artist. And I would just travel and go to shows and sell and stuff. But as a traumatized ADHD autistic, I could see the writing on the walls when he was selected the first time. And as an artist, I saw quickly that my pockets were affected from people's fear. When people are scared, they don't spend money on things they like. They like panic buy and necessity buy and their vices. So alcohol, drugs, sex. They'll spend money on that stuff. They won't spend money on art. They're not gonna go buy art. They're not gonna go to fucking art shows. So I had to quit my self-built job and go take a job. And the only thing I know as a freak is how to operate as some kind of servant. So I ended up in the sex industry.
Oh my God, there's so much to unpack on that one.
Like, what am I gonna do
What
with
a
myself?
shocker
I
at the
can't
end.
make any money. What kind of art am I even doing? Like, what is she? I bet you her art is so terrible that nobody would buy it anyway, even if they could afford it. What is wrong with her? And you see her face? Where's she gonna get a job dressed like that with the tattoos and the stuff on her face? These people are delusional. They don't, like I said, they don't understand the consequences of their own actions. They don't understand that nobody wants to look at you.
Yeah.
It's the blame game, and once again, I, as the parent and sibling of real autistic children and a sibling, she's not autistic. I mean, I could take one look at her and tell that she is a player. She's probably collecting money from the government because she's under the realm of autism, but she's not autistic. She's a loser, and she's, again, blaming her lack of being able to sell art or whatever it is. She has to blame it, even that, on Trump. How is that Trump's fault?
Yeah, Trump didn't tell her to paint like an orangutan. They're delusional. And I think she lives in a van. They travel in a van. And I always love these van people that are. You ever see the people on TikTok that live in the van? Oh, we love living in a van. We saved up $80,000 in the van. You know what we should get? Yeah, maybe a house. Why do you want to wash your ass in a Buc-ee's every morning? Get a house. What's wrong with you people? Yeah.
Well, you know what it is? It's a sense of entitlement that turns into victimhood. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
They were entitled. They thought they were supposed to do these things and it should just come easy to them. And it didn't. So now they're victims. And they found the boogeyman in Trump. He's the boogeyman.
He's not only the boogeyman, but what they've found is Donald Trump is basically the scapegoat for anything that's bad in your life. And they're going to do this. And I've got news for you. I've seen this type of behavior before. Trump is going to eventually, we're going to have another president and another president after that, and they're going to still be blaming Trump. These people, it's so ingrained in them, their whole existence, anything that's wrong in their life is about Donald Trump. So that's pretty
Well, these are
convenient.
the same people that blamed George W. Bush for like 20 years.
Well,
if you remember, if you go back, George W. Bush was the boogeyman for them. And then he was gone, and they had Mr. Wonderful Obama in there, who really screwed him over. And then that's what brought Trump. So now they're on to Trump. It's not going to end. Next, it'll be J.D. Vance or whoever, or Rubio. It doesn't matter who it is. And if, God forbid, we get a Democrat in there, I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Then we're going to be screwed.
It's going to be. Steve, we got time. We got time in a segment for another one. If you want to do another one really quick.
All right, I'll do one more, and then we'll. I got to call it quits if you don't mind. Because this way, Mark White can get some time.
No, I'm fine. I like you, actually.
Thank you. I'm going to drop down to this one. If you can't define what a woman is, why do you care if they can't find their birth certificate? Are you afraid it may say born female?
Yeah.
That's just funny.
See, that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
And the whole thing with getting the birth certificate to get your license if you've been married, if this law passes and it's a reasonable law, and there are some places that won't let it be. Don't you think the Democrats are going to work to make it easier to get if they have that? Make them force their hand. Make the election legal. Make everybody show ID. Well, it's going to be a problem and it's not fair. You will work on making it easier. You bring your birth certificate. You bring your marriage certificate. Here you go. I need another and you need that for everything.
Well, you know what would happen is the Democrats would always provide free buses to go and make sure that you get your birth certificate. They'll give them food. Well, they make it like a party. It's the Republican women who will have to figure it out on their own. And, honestly, we're smart enough to be able to do that. I'm not saying that the Democrats are not smart enough to do that. I'm just saying that they'll make sure that even if there's a few who are not,
Bonnie, I'm going to interrupt you,
Yes.
and I'm going to just put it out there and say it like we've said before. Basically, they don't want They don't want voter ID, even though the majority of this country have all said, yes, voter ID is a good thing. They don't want it because it makes it harder for them to cheat. They've mastered cheating. The Democrats have mastered cheating, rigging elections, stuffing ballot boxes. They brought 25 million illegal immigrants into this country in order to continue down that path, and they don't want, and they basically, we're interfering with their ability to cheat, and that's how they get these blue dots in red states. That's how you get California, where if you have a Republican vote, it's not going to do any good because they've got it all locked up.
36 states have voter ID laws, and the ones that don't are all blue. That's all you have to know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's coincidence? You decide. It's not a coincidence. It's very, very.
And they also they refuse to turn over their voting rolls. They refuse to turn over their SNAP people.
And we will be
And we will
right
be
back.
Pretty obvious.
Stevie, hold that thought. We'll be right back.
You've worked hard and saved, but inflation and increased money supply are eroding your buying power. Protect and grow your wealth with physical gold and silver. Sound Money. With a Sound Money wallet, your wealth stays in your control. Buy fractionally, vault securely, ship directly, and instantly liquidate your gold and silver at the highest buyback price in the industry. Real money, real ownership. Visit tafwsoundmoney.info or scan the QR code and start securing your financial future today.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
Get ready to move and celebrate freedom like never before. The America First Warehouse proudly presents Freedom in Motion, America 250. Join Lisa for an electrifying dance fitness fundraiser designed to get your heart pumping and your spirit soaring. This dynamic 6-week session is perfect for all fitness levels, whether you're just starting out or ready to level up your routine. Feel the energy of an epic patriotic playlist. Boost your fitness, learn exciting new moves, and relieve stress while having an absolute blast. All for just $100 per person, and it all supports a great cause. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Come dance, get fit, and celebrate America 250 in motion.
Corporate transfer. Fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed because there was nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
Good evening and welcome to Red, Right, and True. One of the things I want to go over is when they had the No Kings March in Minneapolis, Bruce Springsteen was kind enough to sing that awful song. Bruce Springsteen, if I could be a little blunt, sounds like a walrus that got his nuts pringed with a coat hanger. He wrote the No King song, and I deciphered some of the inaccuracies that he had. So one of the lyrics is, King Trump's private army from the DHS. First of all, Trump is not a king. Okay, we explained that before. And DHS is a government entity. Okay, so then the song goes on, came to Minneapolis to enforce the law, or so the story goes. Oh, that's the story. He came and he sent ICE in to get out illegals. That's there. And then he writes, in the dawn's early light, citizens stood for justice. No, agitators that are defending illegal aliens are what they were. And then this part comes up, and I skipped through the lyrics because the song is atrocious, so we want to save you a lot. And 2 dead, left to die on snow-filled streets. They were not left for dead. Alex Pretty and Renee Good. Renee Good, who interfered, who gave an officer no choice but to shoot, who would have not been in the vicinity if police protection was given to them, that was not given to them because of the mayor and the governor not providing it. For here in our home, they killed and roamed. They were carrying out warrant, like they showed up like in a Western, like a posse. Yeah, we're here to get illegal aliens. Where are them varmints? You're out of your mind.
At that particular place, I don't know if they were all in the same rally, but they had Jane Fonda, they had Bernie Sanders. I mean, you couldn't put together a worse, more disgusting, hate their own country type of group.
And they also had B.J. Honeycutt from MASH saying that, if you want to call me a subversive, you can call me a subversive. I'm calling you a subversive.
You know what's really interesting about all of those people? They're all multimillionaires.
Yeah.
And again, Bruce Springsteen, he's with the people. Really? I believe his tickets to one of his concerts started around $1,500. Who's going to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's such a socialist, why doesn't he let?
Why doesn't he have a free concert?
Why doesn't he have a concert?
Oh, no. It's
let
like,
the masses see.
I'm for the working man, and I'm here for the working man. How much are your tickets? $1,000? No, you're a hypocrite, Bruce. You stink. You live in a ritzy area in Jersey, and you're a lying hypocrite. Also, in the song, he goes, we'll remember the names of who died on the streets of Minneapolis. We remember the names of who died on the streets of Minneapolis. Really, Bruce? Why don't you remember the names that were people that were killed by illegal aliens? Louis Chacon Nanez, 15 years old, shot and killed in Kentucky while protecting his mother from a rape by a Mexican national. Sheridan Gorman, 18 years old, the Loyola college student that was killed in Chicago. Holly Helgenson, 18 years old, and Brad Healing, 19 years old, both killed in a 2025 car crash in Wisconsin by a Honduran national. Karen Diamond, 82 years old, injuries sustained during a Molotov cocktail attack by a pro-Israel event in Boulder, Colorado, carried out by an Egyptian national.
Joe, you do know that this show is only an hour, right?
Yeah, I know. So
I mean that's the whole thing.
But we're going to I made my point clear.
That's the whole,
why in the hell aren't you singing about them?
They not only don't they sing about them, they act like it never happened. It's like none of those things ever happened in their limited view of what's going on. We see it clearly. You see what's right in front of your face or you don't. And that whole group of people is just, I think they're
Trump
brainwashed.
derangement
They're
syndrome.
brainwashed, they're Trump deranged, and why don't they ever talk about the victims? Because then their
Doesn't fit the
narrative goes
narrative.
away.
It destroys
exactly,
their narrative. Patriot Box. It destroys the narrative, and I believe they're schooled, not coached, rather, not to go in that direction. Don't destroy the narrative. Talk about this, and it's just.
But let's just take Bernie Sanders, who I cannot stand. I just cringe when I see him. He is the ultimate hypocrite of preaching socialism when he is rich off of all the bullshit that he has peddled. If he is really for socialism, let him give all his money away. Let him give his houses away. Let him give his all the money he makes for these speeches that he makes. It makes my blood boil. I don't want to end up like that woman in the first video, but I could and I would be legitimately correct of why I'm having a meltdown.
And the thing about it is, it's so blatant that this rhetoric that he says and goes out fills his pockets. And the perfect example of this is when in
Al Sharpton, the same thing.
But in the election, the 2016 election in the Democratic Party, with Hillary Clinton, they shoved him under the river. They sold him down the river. They totally screwed him over. If I was him, I'd be an independent. I'd be an independent. Now, you were mentioning Jamie Lee Curtis. And as luck would have it...
What's sad is I used to be a fan of Jamie Lee Curtis.
So was I.
Now I've
She had
lost
those
respect
nice
for
breasts
her.
in that movie, yeah. But
I
anyway,
mean, I love Halloween.
digress.
I love Halloween, and it is what it is.
Right,
But
and we have Asset 4, which is Jamie Lee Curtis losing her mind. Asset 4, please.
this is where I
Good
lost.
morning, everyone. It's Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm enjoying my coffee before heading to the march because today is a great day to celebrate democracy. We have to fight for the right to party, and I don't mean the political party because I don't really care which political party you believe in, as long as you believe in the Constitution and the fundamental freedoms that the Constitution protects. And I'm very proud to be a board member of People for the American Way, and they have created this fantastic, The Art of Saving Democracy and Action Kit for Making Change. Go to peoplefortheamericanway.org. Come out and march because that's why you're an American. You have the right to say what you think and feel. So join other people who are feeling the same way, and let's go, LFG.
Wow. I'm really impressed. I didn't know that Jamie Lee Curtis was so worried about my Second Amendment rights that shall not be infringed. Let's hear it for the Constitution and Jamie Lee Curtis that she's a big gun advocate.
Oh, yeah. Yay.
Well, I just, again, she is, if she really was ruled by a king, she would not be allowed to do her freedom of speech. She would be shut down. They would pull them off the streets. Exactly what you see the dictators in Iran doing, where they killed 30,000 of their own people who came out. There was a 16-year-old girl, beautiful girl. She was taking off her hijab, and they murdered her. They murdered the people who came back from the Olympics, young men who spoke out against the regime. They were using their voice to say they don't like what's going on, so they murdered them. That is what a king would do. Here in the United States, oh my God, they had pictures, statues of Trump with a diaper on, and all these horrible things that made my skin crawl, but it is their constitutional right to say what they want.
Bonnie, you left out one
But they-
detail
but-
that I just love this one detail, that they're at their No Kings rally with pictures disparaging Trump and carrying pictures of the dead Ayatollah. Now, you know the country that just killed over 30,000 of its own people in the last few weeks, they're proud of that, but they're calling Trump a king. I think that says it all as far as you can't make sense of crazy.
No, they're not, and they just are so delusional on their narrative that it's just beyond me, and you can't.
They had frogs dancing.
Yeah, and you can't.
I liked the frogs.
Frogs are not. But you can't. That's why I was frustrated watching my old show last night. I couldn't retort because I was in a car watching on the phone. But it's just the facts get skewered with that. Before we go, we'd like to do a couple of plugs, and we might touch on something else. Bonnie, where are you going to be? You got any shows?
No.
All righty then. Mark, you got anything cooking?
No way, man.
Wait, this is going well.
All right.
So, Joe, you going to ask me what I have going
yes,
on?
Patriot Box, I most certainly am.
Not a goddamn thing.
All right. Me, regretfully, I will not be on next Wednesday show because I will be Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh, we wanted to thank Stevie GB.
Oh, yes. Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for Stevie G.
GB.
And thank you for such great questions that he had. Outstanding. I hope we have him back. Well, we will have him back. And he was a great asset to the show. It was fantastic. Basically, we'd like to thank some people. Like I said, I was going to be down at the Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club down at Point Pleasant, New Jersey. I will be down there next Wednesday and Thursday. And also the American Hotel on Friday in Freehold. Dial 1-877-UNCLE-VIN for tickets and information. Also, you could check us out at UncleVinny'sComedyClub.com. And we'd like to thank some people. Also, there was a lot of Patriots down there because we had Andrew, I forgot, he's a writer for, come on, Joe, thanks.
Gutfeld?
Thank you. And there's a lot of people that are going to be tuning in and follow the show. We'd like to thank the America First Warehouse Venue and Production Studio, America First Media and Television events. Please check out website, America Warehouse, the American Warehouse come on, try that again. TheAmericanFirstWarehouse.com. Check out TAFW Sound Money Wallet, TAFWSoundMoney.com. MyPillow, MyPillow.com. My Patriot Travel at mypatriottravel.com/TAFW. Also, we have Honey Gold, Maha Gold at talohoneygold.com/TAFW. Download the America First Media Television app, available in the App Store and Google Play, or go to afshows.com and you can click past shows. You could also check out us if you are checking us out live. You've already done that, so.
And also here at the warehouse, they're going to be having a birthday party for Rudy Giuliani. So check out the America First Warehouse, their website. They have all kinds of wonderful things going on right here in this amazing warehouse where you feel accepted and you feel right at home. And I'm going to that birthday party.
That's May 31st, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it should
get
be
your tickets because it's going to sell out.
Yeah, absolutely, and it'd be a great honor to meet Rudy Giuliani, who is an absolute great patriot.
And thank you, Mark White, as always.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome very much, as always.
And tune in next week. Thank you, everyone, and good night.
Good night.
Patriots of America, we stand tall and free in the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be. America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of hope, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free in the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be. The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of hope, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall